Will Luna Classic reach $1, 1 cent? Daha fazla kripto para ve Bitcoin habari isin binit urum bırakabilirsiniz. Berberinden farklı onsatla ve airdroplar isin açıklama kısmındaki MXC balansın kullanabilirsiniz. Ank haber bildirimi almak isin katıl butonundan üyelik alabilirsiniz. In May 2022, when Terra Foundation stablecoin UST lost its peg, Terra Luna crashed from close to $100 to below $1. Since then, Terra Luna has been rebranded as Luna Classic and it is being run by LUNC community. The LUNC community has been working together to push the price above $1, but the very first challenge for the LUNC community will be to push the price of Luna Classic to 1 cent. Latest Luna Classic news: Luna Classic blockchain Q1 upgrades complete, Q2 developments underway. Published on April 8 by during the first quarter of 2023. The joint L1 task force successfully completed several large-scale upgrades for the Luna Classic blockchain, including version 1.0.5 hotfix, version 1.1.0, and version 2.0.0. The version 2.0.0 release candidate was launched on March 31, and contains significant upgrades to Cosmos SDK version 0.45.13, and Tendermint version 34.24. The version 2.0.0 upgrade is scheduled to be deployed in the Columbus 5 mainnet through a chain-halt upgrade in late April. After a successful Q1, it is proposed that the L1 task force receives a Q2 mandate to continue development on the blockchain. The primary focus for Q2 will be extensive testing of the version 2.0.0 upgrade, building out the testnet, and deploying version 2.1.0 to achieve parity with other Cosmos blockchains. Additionally, the L1 task force plans to collaborate with an L2 team to develop Classic Station, subject to a separate governance proposal, and provide high-demand features such as on-ramp capability. Maintaining an up-to-date forked version of Station offers several benefits, including streamlining the testing and upgrade scheduling process while reducing the burden on other third-party organizations. The L1 task force for Q2 will comprise Superman, Till, a new senior developer, Vin, and 2 junior developers, managed by LUNC Bernami. By the end of Q2, the Luna Classic blockchain is expected to have an upgraded Cosmos SDK and Tendermint environment, a minimum deposit on governance to prevent scam proposals, and parity with other Cosmos blockchains. Other anticipated benefits include a fee-sharing incentive feature for smart contract developers, options for bridging cross-chain liquidity, and a completed proof of concept for Station on-ramp. Q2 activities include finalizing pre-release testing for core version 2.0.0, Oracle Feeder version 2.0.4, Terra.js version 2.0.0, and Terra.proto version 2.0.0, and preparing the releases accordingly. The L1 task force will also work with the L2 team to patch GUI assets and expand the testnet, schedule version 2.0.0 and version 2.1.0 upgrades on the mainnet, and provide on-call support during scheduled chain halts. The total budget requested for Q2 is $124.8K, with the funds distributed monthly based on the achievement of milestones, approval from the Oversight Committee, and approval from current Terra Grants Foundation signers of the multisig. Any surplus budget amounts will be returned to the community pool at the end of the quarter. Is Luna Classic worth holding? The Terra Classic $1 dream? The massive Luna Classic community as well as potential investors are keen on knowing how high can Luna Classic price go, and specifically if Luna Classic could ever breach $1. Given the sentiments behind the Luna crash in May, this is also of some emotional value. So will Luna Classic reach $1? Let us analyze. To reach $1, Luna Classic must rise 8,000 times. At $1, the market cap of Luna Classic would be $5,900 billion, which is more than twice the market cap of Apple. If LUNC's price were to grow at the rate of 25% every year, it would take Luna Classic 39 years to reach $1. Given that Luna Classic is a weak case for investment, let us analyze these in detail. Is it possible to rise 8,000 times? Bitcoin rose 1,400 times higher in 10 years. Ethereum rose 166 times higher in 6 years. Both BTC and ETH rose in very different conditions, while Luna Classic is in an environment where there are more than 50 tokens with a market cap of $1 billion. Therefore, one can say with a high degree of confidence that Luna Classic will not increase by 800 times. Is it possible for Luna Classic to reach twice the market cap of Apple? With the information we have, Luna Classic is not an innovator of the Apple mold, nor are their services consumed by billions of people worldwide. We can say with a high degree of confidence that Luna Classic will not reach a market cap of $5.9 trillion. Can we forecast accurately for 39 years that a token will grow at the rate of 50% every year? No, no one can forecast the price of a token 39 years from now. Further, no token or stock can grow at the rate of 25% every year for 40 years. Considering growth, market cap, and time factors, we can say confidently that Luna Classic will not reach $1. Now, let us consider a scenario where 90% of the coins are burnt. If 90% of the tokens were burnt, to reach $1, Luna Classic must rise 800 times. At $1, the market cap of Luna Classic would be $590 billion. If LUNC's price were to grow at the rate of 25% every year, it would take Luna Classic 30 years to reach $1. So, even in a 90% burn scenario, Luna Classic will find it impossible to reach $1. The only hope for a healthy return on Luna Classic investment is unique and differentiated use cases. Will Luna Classic reach $1, 1 cent, triggers Terra Luna Classic, LUNC, is a cryptocurrency governed by the Luna Classic community, led by Ed Kim, Zaradar, LUNC DAO, and other influencers. The crypto market, including LUNC, has been influenced by macroeconomic factors such as the Ukraine-Russia war and changes in the US Fed's interest rates. The success of LUNC is dependent on the execution of its development plans, which include infrastructure and technology upgrades, and the demand for LUNC. To increase the price of LUNC, its supply must be reduced through the burn mechanism implemented by Binance. The LUNC community has been working to maintain the price of Luna Classic and bring in new developments to sustain its growth. Will Luna Classic reach 1 cent? The math let us straight away start with 90% burn. To reach 1 cent, Luna Classic must rise 8 times. At 1 cent, the market cap of Luna Classic would be $5.9 billion. If LUNC's price were to grow at the rate of 50% every year, it would take Luna Classic 6 years to reach 1 cent. At 90% burn, Luna Classic should reach 1 cent in the next 10 years. Anything less will make it very difficult. Will Luna Classic reach 10 cents? Assume the LUNC price rises 25% a year. This growth is under the assumption that 50% of the coins are burnt during this period, the number of years to reach 10 cents. 28 years. Can Luna Classic reach 50 cents? Yes. Luna Classic can reach 50 cents if more than 75% of the tokens are burnt and the Luna community and the team can deliver both on development and a significant number of dApps in the Terra Classic ecosystem by the end of the year. Will Luna Classic reach $10? Given the time it would take to reach even $1, any forecast for $10 would be highly speculative. Still, we forecast that Luna Classic is unlikely to reach $10. Will Luna Classic reach $100? Given the estimated market cap of Luna Classic when it rises to $100, Luna Classic can reach $100 only if 99% of the tokens are burnt. That is highly impractical and unreasonable. So Luna Classic can't reach $100. Can Luna Classic reach $1? Volume versus price. The flurry of community activities between June and October has helped Luna Classic. These activities include appointing developers, validators, validator fees, and passing burn proposals. However, post the rollout of the burn, the community activities lost their momentum, and Luna Classic fell from a peak of $0.00054 on September 9 to a bottom of $0.001288 on December 21. The recent bottom came after there was a major dispute with the Luna Classic rebels on how $150,000 was to be spent. After a massive revolt from community members, new leadership took over and the token is now implementing plans to make the blockchain more independent and more supportive of dApps. Can Luna Classic reach $1? LUNC concerns. There are numerous concerns around Terra Luna Classic. Luna Classic has no definitive leadership structure. Though Bitcoin also lacks well-designed leadership architecture for LUNC, it will be difficult to survive without leadership. Ed Kim and co. have been formulating and implementing plans of action for Luna Classic. But it is highly unclear which direction will Luna Classic take and which market segments will it look to dominate. So far it is unclear what is the vision around Terra Luna Classic. Will they remain DeFi focused? Will they differentiate from other major players like ETH and XRP? Community efforts have completely focused on the Luna Classic burn tax rather than the direction of LUNC itself. Can LUNC reach $1? Conclusion: yes. Luna Classic can reach $1 in 38 years if the community implements various proposals to secure LUNC, and build an environment that encourages dApps to return to Terra Luna Classic. Further, at least 50% of the coins will have to be burnt. At the moment one could say, LUNC has made admirable progress but a lot of work is still pending. Will Luna Classic reach 1 cent? Conclusion: with the current momentum, it is unlikely for Lunar Classic to reach 1 cent in 2023. However, there are higher chances of LUNC reaching 1 cent in near future. LUNC may reach 1 cent even before SHIB Inu. Considering the mathematical calculation, LUNC may reach 1 cent in the next 11 years provided the price rises 50% annually.